Yo, what's good, boys? Today I'm going to do a real quick recap. Obviously didn't take anything. It is a New News Monday. That is against my rules. So nothing was taken on the funded accounts. Nothing was taken on the evals. So did take a loss though on paper. The trade actually did play out. It was the correct trade idea, but it was just a loss, right? And I'll show you exactly why. All right. So going into today, we have accumulation through Asia. London, we had a large push higher. Okay, and you can see that we were respecting bullish PD arrays on the 15-minute. And we also left a few breakaway gaps, right? A few unfilled gaps down here, okay? So this is a possible target for later, going into New York session. But we pretty much don't form any bearish or bullish SMT on the high time frame during London, right? There's no manipulation. We just have a straight push higher. Okay, so with this in mind, what do we have? Right, we have a large range. We have a large overnight range from this low to this high. This is just the most obvious range for me that I see, right? And at the time, market opened right here, right? And we opened up forming SMT at these lows, right? And then after that, a little bit later, after more chop, formed SMT at these highs, right? Which sent price lower, okay? So just looking at this 15-minute, right? Just looking at this 15-minute. You can see that this 15-minute BISI is being held forever. Look at the bodies, okay? We're just mohawking it. We're just wicking it a ton for literally what? Pretty much 3 hours. Pretty much 3 hours we wick it, right, on the 50 minutes. Absolutely horrendous. You do not want to trade in this. Okay, if you're like anywhere like a year or so in, bro, typically don't want to even trade this. I mean, you get to a specific level where you know exactly how to exit accumulations, and you know when it's going to stop accumulating and expand. But this shit's terrible. Okay, you don't want to trade this, right? So stayed out, did not trade really this much at all. I did short down here after us forming finally this SMT at the highs, which is what I wanted to see for lower prices, right? I did not want to see a long. I did not want to go for longs after us forming this bullish SMT right here off of open. Just because we're so high, right? I want to see some sort of rebalance lower, some sort of push lower, or at least attempt, right? And you can see right here that these discount 15-minute BISIs were a beautiful target, right below the equilibrium of the range. Right, so this is a perfect target for me, equilibrium, and possibly the new week opening gap if we can continue lower and start to break these gaps right here, break through them. But, no, you can't hear that, okay. So, what I did was go on the 1 minute. And this was the shorting opportunity, right? And it did mess up. I was taking notes. I took a screenshot and I was going on my Notion to take notes, and this was my short setup right here. And price just absolutely dumped. This is the last minute of the macro. For me, I take my macros from 8:45 to 9:15. Right, so 9:45, 10:15, same thing. I take them 5 minutes before the macro actually starts. If there is a solid setup that I can take, it can typically follow through. But if it's a 1 minute over, not trading. Okay, so this is a beautiful short right to this sell side that I was targeting. Right, as you can see, we literally tapped it to the tick. Right, 1 point. We swept it by 1 tick. My fault. We swept it by 1 tick. Right, so take profit would have been hit. But this is all live in the call. I ended up longing right here by accident, right? Price just dumped out of nowhere. And this is something that I learned today, right? Forming this bearish SMT on the high time frame. We have a clean respect of these SIBIs right here. Tap into this 1 minute SIBI, right? This is IOFED. Then we get a rejection lower. And then we just get this out of nowhere random dump at 9:15 at the end of the macro. Right, and this is when I take my long by accident. Right, and I think it was just a rush out of nowhere. I was literally doing my notes, and then I just saw a huge dump of my entry that I was just waiting for out of nowhere. I mean, we dumped, like 100 points in 2 minutes? Yeah. And that's when I hopped in long by accident, and then it canceled the trade because I realized a couple seconds later that I wasn't long. And then I ended up shorting like all the way down here, like all the way right here, to the point where my take profit was like this. It was this 15-minute BISI, right, to equal it out to like 2R or something like that. But this would have been the original trade, 2.4R. Right, so let me see if I can find the recording real quick of the trade. That's the new video coming out. It's gonna be fire. Oh shit. Well, I don't know, boys. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh no, here it is.
Gambler.
Dude, my people. That shit was out of 11.
Okay, yeah, so it just dumped out of absolutely nowhere right here, last minute.
Yeah. Taking this macro.
Not expecting anything.
No.
Waiting for the short to happen. But this macro is ending, so I was just getting ready to just be done with it, right? And then it just dumps, right? I was waiting for that to be for a while, that BISI inversion, and then the macro
You just got
dumps.
stopped. Damn! Hey! Let me hop in that shit.
And
Damn!
then I just flick my mouse and I accidentally buy it, right? So I was just, it's just emotional, bro, just funny. It just dumped out of nowhere, bro. We're all in the call. Obviously, I would have never acted like this if it was on a live account. That would have been completely different. Well, just being on paper, I just hopped in it really late. The idea was right. That's all that matters.
Yeah!
Stuff I was figuring. I ended up being long, bro. I was getting cooked by accident, right? But I was targeting this sell side right here.
Holy
See where I
Alright,
said
no SMT
right
at
here
the
is
low.
sell side. This is my target.
Bearish as hell.
And then realized I messed up, so I entered off the re-entry. And then I just price already reached that sell side. We formed SMT at the lows, and then I just got cooked, right? So that was the reason why I lost, but pretty much this would have been a win. But looking at this now, we formed SMT now at this low. Okay, so we have this high time for accumulation, right? High time for manipulation at the low. Rebounced some stuff, right? We also, tapped into this 15-minute BISI again. Just rebalanced BISI. So we rebalanced it again, and then longs right here, okay? Again, don't really trade this because this is not macro time, but we formed SMT right here. A lot of you may have taken this inversion right here with us sweeping this high. Actually, no, I think it was a little bit later. It was somewhere up here. We ended up breaking the high time frame bearish SMT with ES, which tells me pretty much longs all day, right? We have high time from bullish SMT.
Maybe. We want to get a picture real quick.
We had high time frame bullish SMT. We were expecting a 15-minute PD array, bullish PD array. So I'm expecting buys, right? So with us breaking this bearish SMT, looking for longs, this would have been your setup, right? But obviously I don't trade anything outside of macros now, but you can look at all the other macros, 945, 1015, garbage, right? 1145 or 1045 to 1115, absolutely garbage, really nothing. Okay, so for the rest of the day, it was pretty just a bunch of garbage. We did end up retracing back into the range though, and rebalancing it. All right, not the whole thing, but we did end up stacking SMT at the lows, and we finally rebalanced some other range and just dumped off and sold towards the PM session. But going into tomorrow, recognizing that we have these stacking bullish SMTs for continuation. I hope y'all boys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see y'all boys tomorrow. Peace out.